Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, August 6th, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I listen to my heart, I listen to my soul, and I listen to the wisdom of my inner child. So, things are getting breezy here. We have Mars today moving out of Virgo and into Libra. Now, this isn't going to happen till later in the afternoon, early evening, maybe even early tomorrow, depending where you live. It's going to be moving at 4:23 p.m. Pacific time from Virgo into Libra. And with this, we have ongoing Grand Trine air energy for the foreseeable future. But right now, like once it moves in, it's pretty close in connection. And so we're going to be working with that, and we're going to be working with the kite formation, which is also back and going to be, flying us around for the next little bit. Now, I was looking to see, I was like, well, when is Mars going to move out of Libra into Scorpio? Like, when do we get a relief from a little bit of the air? And it's funny, it actually shifts out of Libra the day that the sun moves into Libra, September 22nd. So the air energies are sticking around with us. So I mentioned the other day, I'm totally okay if they give us this card every day, and here it is. I think this is the third day in a row, maybe even more than that, of the slowing down card, reminding us to take nice and easy steps, take it easy, and spend time getting grounded. It will help you enormously. That being said, let's talk a little bit about Mars in Libra. So Mars in Libra can be a little bit of a challenging energy as Mars rules Libra's opposite sign, Aries. And so Mars in Libra can be uncomfortable, and it can just, feel a little weird, because Libra energy is like, I want peace, and Mars energy is like, let's go to war. But here's the thing about Libra that Libra doesn't necessarily always understand, and I think Mars is going to help balance this out a little bit. So Libra energy, I remember my teacher Khufu saying this years ago, so long ago, about Libra energy. He's like, Libras, they think they're balanced, but he's like, but they're not. They're usually chaotic. And here's the reason why. Because Libra's always trying to find balance. But a lot of times when we're trying to find balance, we pendulum back and forth between extremes and then little lighter opposites and like this until we finally figure out what balance is. And so Mars in Libra is like, all right, we gotta balance some of these energies out. One of the things that I've always found really interesting with Mars in Libra, and I've written about this in the past and I talk about it often, is that we have to recognize where we are at war within ourselves. Obviously, we want peace out there, out in the world. We want things to be good. We want it to be balanced. We want it to be harmonious. And yet, a lot of times, we ourselves are not there because we live in this world and because we all have a little Libra in us somewhere that's penduluming us, that's a new word, penduluming us all over the place. And so this is a really great time with Mars in Libra to see where you say one thing and then do another. That's one of the places where you pendulum. This is a really great time to see where you know for yourself what is harmonious and you don't activate that in your life. This is a really great time to see where you speak peace, but are mean to yourself within. This is a really great time to notice where you say that you want peace and goodness and justice and all that in the world, and you go on the internet and wage wars. Then this isn't saying that you don't speak up, and this isn't saying that you can't have a voice, and it's not even saying that you can't get angry. You're allowed to do and be all of the things. But a lot of it is actually out of range, out of balance and out of your own personal harmony. And so Mars in Libra is giving us an opportunity to see this. Now, I think these pendulum swings are going to be quite large because we've got some chaos in the background. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's chaos happening back there, of course, because Mars is moving into Libra. But, what was I saying? Oh, extra windy. Because, like I said, we have Pluto and Uranus activating this grand trine, acting in the other two air signs. And just at the right beginning of this, we also have a full moon in Aquarius, which is also activating really strong air energy. So let me come back to this and remind you that grounding is your friend and will be really important. And for those of you who get stressed out by these really strong airy energies, which can be frenetic, they can be intense, they can be very mental. Air energy is very mental. Rest. If you are not sleeping, please allow yourself to rest and don't get into your head about how angry you are about not sleeping. I have been that person. I tell you, it doesn't help, but setting myself to soothing and allowing myself to rest helps so much. So just a good little reminder there. We're all antennas. We're picking up, and especially with these air energies, so much stimulus from out there, which means it's a really great time to practice calming when you are in your, home places and clearing your energies. Now I have to say too, speaking of like war energies, nothing about that out there, not about that, but these first couple days, Mars is going to be opposing, and this is part of the kite, this Saturn, Neptune, Aries energies. And so there's definitely some intensity in that opposition. But again, the lesson is going to be helping support the Libra lesson. And what helps support the Libra lesson is not necessarily being a doormat. It's not necessarily being a people pleaser. It's making sure that you are taking good care of yourself. And Saturn in Aries, that's part of the mission of Saturn in Aries. That's part of the mission of Chiron in Aries. And Neptune is reminding us, Neptune in Aries, you are a divine being and you are worthy of your own love and self-respect. So keep that in mind as this opposition happens. I think a lot of us were trained in people pleasing when we were young and beyond, and so a lot of us are still learning how to show up and take care of ourselves. I always like that saying, how they tell you, put on your own oxygen mask first. If you're not breathing, you can't help anybody. And I truly believe that when we show up and love ourselves in beautiful balance, that it shifts all the energies for everybody to show up in right alignment. But, we have a long way to go to practice this. So Mars in Libra is giving us a great opportunity, and these oppositions are going to help. Now, besides this today, we have the Moon in Capricorn. So Moon in Capricorn is giving us a little bit of a grounded feel. Thank you to Moon in Capricorn. This is my Moon in Capricorn voice. But today, the Moon in Capricorn is going to be opposing Jupiter in Cancer. And this kind of feels the same kind of way because a lot of times Cancer is more feely, more nurturing, and while that's allowed in the house, it's not allowed in the world as much, right? And Capricorn can sometimes represent what's happening in the world. And so in this opposition, just with these astro transit shifts that are happening, we might need a little bit more nurturing. We might need a little kindness. We might need to stop and take a breath and ground. So watch for that today and watch where you allow yourself to show up as you need to show up. Now, I do need to mention that for most of the day, we will have Mars at 29 Virgo. And here are my cards, behaving so appropriately, bringing my Virgo card, body, mind, spirit, soul, and heart. But this is also a beautiful reminder to check in and balance out these various parts of yourself. Are you connecting to your body? Are you connecting to your mind? usually. Are you connecting to your heart? Are you connecting to your spirit? Are you connecting to your soul? Are you connecting to these layers and allowing them to come forth from you in balance? That to me is what this participation card is. What we have with it is the moment to moment. So it's probably going to be a moment to moment thing, but if you remember this and check in early and often, that should probably help. I want to also say that Virgo energy is focused, or can be focused, and it's up to you to decide to what you're going to focus on. So please don't focus on my grammar of that last sentence, but reminding yourself often, like, where your focus goes, your attention goes, your energy goes, and you feed that. That can be a really powerful, good reminder. And I think just allowing yourself to serve yourself today is a good setup for Mars moving into Libra. And like I said, this opposition between the moon in Capricorn with Jupiter. Now, I love that I have the dream card. You know, Mars and Libra. Mars and Libra can definitely have some relationship dreams. Libra loves beauty and harmony and romance and relationships and all of those things. So, you know, this is like, go get it, right? Get that energy. However, I'm also getting the completion card, and I do think that this might be an interesting time for some relational completions, especially as we have Uranus and Pluto feeding into Mars. And even the Saturn-Neptune energy. Like I said, this kite, it might be closing the doors on some things. I also want to remind you, we're building to this full moon. I know I said it. We're also building to the end of Mercury retrograde. So I would wait to the end of Mercury retrograde to slam that door. Just saying. Anyways, beautiful card from Inner Child. It says there's hope ahead. I'm going to read just a little bit of it. It says, now's the time to let hope in. There is so much good waiting for you ahead. I know right now when we look at the world, it's hard to think that, but this is what we need to cultivate, more than hope, the vision of the good that is ahead. There's a deep and divine love that is always present, always waiting to wrap you in its arms. You are held, you are loved, you are never ever alone. Reach out today unto the divine and be held by love. And the journaling prompt is, how does it feel to let hope reside within your heart? Do you feel apprehensive when you think about hope? Hope is the belief in something that has yet to come. Even if we feel that we have no guarantee that what we hope for will arrive, it is far better to let hope into your heart than it is to keep it out. So, there you go. That's going to be it for today. If you would like a reading for these interesting times, please reach out, book a reading. You can even do a mini reading if you just need a little check-in. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and may your guiding light be strong, and know that you can trust your process. Namaste.